readers! It's Shed Time Stories with me, Issy. Are you ready to share a new story? Well, I have chosen a story of happiness. The title is Gnome Finds Love. If you have this book at home, you can read along with me. The author, the person who has written this story, and the illustrator, the person who has drawn all the pictures, is Colleen Brunetti. Gnome is feeling rather lonely, so he sets off in search of love. Shall we read and find out what happens? Gnome finds love. One morning, as Gnome sipped his hot cocoa, he realised he was feeling lonely. I think I need to find love, thought Gnome. But where do I go to find it? Without much idea of what to do next, he set off for the woods. As he entered the woods, a group of ants marched in a long line. Do you know where I can find love? Gnome asked. But the ants were hard at work and just kept marching by. Next, Gnome came across some bees flying around a field of flowers. Do you know where I can find love? Gnome asked. But the bees were much too busy and just kept buzzing away. Gnome kept walking, and in a clearing he saw some ladybugs. Do you know where I can find love? Gnome asked. But the ladybugs were getting ready for a picnic and didn't have time to talk. Gnome decided to go to the pond next. Maybe someone there could help. Gnome dipped his toes in the water as the fish jumped around. Do you know where I can find love? Gnome asked. But the fish were late for school. They couldn't stay and chat. Gnome heard a hoot and looked up to see an owl in a tree. Do you know where I can find love? Gnome asked. But even though owls are wise, this one didn't know whom a gnome could find to love. Gnome sighed. Looking around, he found a comfy mushroom to perch on, and there he sat. He thought about how to find love for a long time. The sun began to set, and he grew very cold. Sadly, Gnome headed home. Maybe love is too hard to find after all, he thought. But as Gnome came to his little house, he was in for a huge surprise. Gnome, you're here! Exclaimed all of his friends from the woods. Come, join our party! Gnome could not believe his eyes. And then he had the most magical thought. Maybe I don't need to go find love, he whispered to himself. Maybe it was around me this whole time. The end. What a wonderful, happy story that was. Gnome thought he was lonely, so off into the woods he went. Little did he realise that all the animals he spoke to were actually getting ready to have a party with Gnome. I'm so glad Gnome did realise that actually love was all around him with his friends. I hope you've enjoyed this Shed Time story, and if you want to, you can like, share, follow and subscribe to Shed Time Stories. Then you'll be ready for the next book we can share together. Bye-bye!